Hello again, Humaniteers. Welcome back to episode 3 of season 4 of Twin Humanities. This is Bro Up episode number 2. That's Bro Up episode number 2. My name is Paddy. I am the Ginger One. With me, as always, is CJ.
It's conker season.
Yeah, okay, that works.
On this episode, we've been messing around in Forest of the Fallen Giants, and we have a bit of a parry challenge, which we'll go into sort of afterwards. But really, this episode's going to be about invasions, which is something that I didn't do a massive amount of in my first playthrough. Mm-hmm. I don't think you did as well.
I barely touched them until my fist guy run, and then got addicted, as has been well documented.
So we would the grab was to get all 4 of the cracked red eye orbs that are available in and around Forest of the Fallen Giants, and then sort of go invading and see what we got. And there was a nice bit of a nice preface to this with Sunlight Blade and Dave Klein facing off against each other in, is it Crestfallen Retreat that they...
It is that one, and they called the series, it's on Sunlight Blade's channel, it is called Choose Your Weapon, and it was 3 parts, 3 rounds, best of 3, and the winner got to be the king of YouTube.
Yeah, and we shan't spoil that, so you should go along. But the rules were seemingly that you dropped. Was it 3 shields and 3
mains, 3 offhands. So it could be a shield, it could have been a parry dagger, that sort of thing. So 3 mains, 3 offhands, and 1 better than the other 2 of each one.
Yeah, and then the sort of random grabs and to see how they went on. But they were brilliant, and particularly the last one was fantastic. And you couldn't have set up a better cherry on the cake with the final lap in particular. So yeah, they're really, really good, and they're superbly cut as well.
Yeah.
So between both viewpoints. So yeah,
both top chaps as well, both former guests. So good job, chaps. Because that's why it's good, because they were on this.
Yeah, the good lads. So yeah, that prefaced what we were doing anyway. So initially we thought, well, why don't we try and summon in Crestfallen Retreat, because that would be a nice little sort of segue between Sunlight Blade and Dave's stuff into our scrap, and we'll see what we get at. So I don't think I was human at that point. Was I?
You were not quite human, and I was very human. I think to invade you must be human. So we grabbed our 4 red eye orbs. We told off to the Crestfallen and thought, well, let's see who we can invade. Let's find out who we can invade here and wreck someone's day when they're right at the start of the game.
And you got something quite quickly, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I popped my orb down. You just got there and couldn't work out how to do it. So I just popped my orb down. It summoned me in.
We didn't know if it was affected by the God's ring that we were wearing, or we were still figuring that out. But you were like, got somebody.
I got somebody, and it loaded me in, and you were like, no, I don't think it's you. I don't think it's you, because we're thinking, oh, what if I land in your world? It's like, no, it's not you. I can still use the bonfire. It's fine.
And then I just saw being invaded by Paddy Stardust, and I started laughing, and you were like, what? No.
Yeah, and I saw invaded the world of CJ's PSN name. I was like, oh, yay. I think it spawns you in at the very top of, where the Heides Knight lives? The top shelf up there. It pops you in up there.
Yeah, because we were trying to figure out where we were, and I was standing just to the side of that bonfire where the first guys come running at you. And you were like, you can't see me. I was like, I can. You can't.
Very visible on the side of a ladder.
I see you, ladder boy. And then this kind of collection of small red and black pixels waved at me from a distance. And you thought I was going to nobble you on the ladder on the next run down, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought you might have been down there. So I ran down, past the bit where the Heides Knight usually lives, where those 3 guys are waiting, went down the ladder, and I thought you'd be at the bottom. And I got to the bottom, I was like, shit, it's going to be right there. And I dropped down, it's just guys. And you've left most of the guys alive, haven't you?
Yeah, I was honourable. I was just waiting for this fight.
So I poddled on up, and I found you stood on the little side by the river. And we thought let's start our bout honourably. So I think you You bowed.
Yeah.
I think I did a wave, and then you threw a firebomb at me. And that was from that point on. I think all bets were off, weren't they?
Yeah, but that was an interesting bookend on the fight, which we'll come to later.
Yeah, so I think I was wielding my. I just had my +4 mace, which I was two-handing with the new spiffy Drangleic gear we picked up from an earlier on, but later in the episode. We'll get to that later.
So what was your build? Let's spew this out.
Okay, so my build at the moment, I am going strength weapons, and I am going two-handing it only. Mm-hmm. Only. I've got the cleric's chime as well because I started as a cleric because they've got the best strength weapon to start with. Mm-hmm. So I've got a heal in reserve if I need it, but it's not the focus. I'm all about that strength. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying only to two-hand it, or the other alternative is to power stance strength weapons as well. I think that's a reasonable thing to allow as well. Mm-hmm. So you might see me with two maces in the future. I don't know, but currently I am two-handing my mace. I'm rolling mid armor. It's a good point for me. I can roll well. I can defend myself well. And plus, I think I would go light armor, but not having a shield means I need to protect myself. So mid armor, mid rolling, two-handing, bonks, a stick with a rock on it. Mm-hmm. What's your build?
Well, I've got a bit of a common or garden build really. I tried the Heides Knight sword this time because I used the fire sword last time. Mm-hmm. So I got that up to a +2, but I got the but Santa came and brought me a black steel katana, which I leveled that up to a +3. I'm rocking
Beast, isn't it?
What is officially called the large leather shield, but I'm calling the Milky Bar button or the yogurt shield.
Yeah.
And
the pizza base.
Yeah, I'm not calling it that. It looks more yogurty than that. It's more milk based. No. No dough.
The all cheese pizza.
So yeah, and I had a few bits in reserves with regards to fire bombs and stuff because I thought, yeah, let's catch you out with a few flames, Ginge.
But how would you tell? They'd match in with the colour of my head.
I know. You'd be like, oh, you've done your hair. It's like, no. got this beautiful yellow and red highlights.
Well, it's worth noticing I do like to protect my hair with the Hunter's hat, which is the one that is based off the Faris hat from Dark Souls 1, the hat of Pimp, the hat of Get Lucky.
Whilst I was just showing off my beautifully styled hair and ravishing beard, as I do in real life.
You've been known to do that.
I do on a daily basis often.
Yeah.
I find that when I go into work with a full-on iron face mask or balaclava, customers tend to get antsy.
They get a bit weird, don't they?
Yeah, or just like, you get things like, how are you today? Who's that in there? It's me. So yeah.
So yeah, we met up. You hucked a firebomb at me while I was trying to start the fight honourably. Yeah. You Darksider. Yeah. And then we started to fight proper, and it was a good little back and forward, I thought.
We had a good one, and
lots of spacing, lots of spacing, lots of back and forward, lots of footwork.
I think there was a huge degree of us both trying to outdo one another with unpredictability.
Yeah. I was trying jump attacks. I think you were trying. I was trying shield breaks. I think I saw you try a shield break as well.
Well, I think the difference with the sword play was that because you were using the mace, it wasn't getting that close to me. But when I was using the black steel katana, it was doing reach. And you got in with a few backstabs, didn't you?
I didn't get a backstab on you. I hit you in the arse, but I don't think it was a backstab.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I smashed you in the arse with a rock, but I don't think it was a backstab. Mm-hmm. A back smash, as we call it.
Oh,
so it's not got a blade; it's a back smash.
Yeah.
But I think the problem I had was with the range on the mace. It's when it hits. Oh God, does it hit? But getting close enough to hit is the problem. By the time you're close enough, you've been hit.
It went down to the line, didn't it? It was like a little bit you and a little bit me, and
there was one moment of where we both went really bravado and completely missed each other.
Yeah.
Just ran at each other, did a massive attack, and both kind of sailed past each other. Thought, oh, whoops.
There were parts where it was like
yeah?
a dance, part where we would hit one another, but it was a little bit like chung 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 chung, like health coming off either bar,
Yeah.
and
Ting, ping, ting. And then I saw you hucked another firebomb, didn't you, mid fight?
And you dodged
nearly got me, yeah. Nearly got me. So we were down to, I think we were down to one hit left, weren't we, each? We were
more or less, yeah. And I got into my head that I really liked jumping at you and then hitting you. But at the point where I jumped at you, you threw a firebomb, and it was very well timed. And
not just a firebomb, a black firebomb.
Oh, was it?
Just to be safe.
Fine.
Yeah, right in your muggins, which was unexpected. I don't think you were expecting it, were you?
I wasn't, and I think you timed it particularly well because you didn't spam those throughout the rest of the fight. So
no.
Had you got that in mind, or was it just an instinctive thing?
I always keep them in reserve. I've learned that from the arena. I always keep a firebomb in reserve and not use it until right near the end when they think they've got it and they're coming for you. Like, right, get it, boom, and you chuck a firebomb, and they never see it coming. Never see it coming, especially if you've not been using any items whatsoever. They're running at you to get the final hit. You can generally get a sucker punch firebomb. Even if they roll, they still take damage.
So yeah, at this point, I had to drop a small soap sign to try and get human.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I think you were fighting somebody called Deanne.
I was, yes. So we headed off to the Cardinal Tower bonfire where Hag Melentia lives. We were potting around and thought, right, well, you need to get your humanity back for a while, so you popped the sign down. And I toddled off, dropped another red eye orb to see who I could invade. Honestly, I was trying to invade you again.
Yeah, we were wondering if that was gonna crack off twice. But at that point, had I gotten human again? Have you been waiting for me, or I thought you just cracked into to
I knew you were about, and I knew I could invade you whenever, so I thought I'd give it a go. But no, I was summoned into the world of someone whose actual username was something different, but I'm calling them Diane. But yeah, I went into the world of Diane. I spent a few minutes trying to find Diane. Just pottering up and down the stairs. It spawned me in... Oh, Christ. It spawned me in where the last giant is. Like the door before that. I'm like, okay, he's not here. Where is he? So I ran up the stairs and I couldn't really see any enemies. I was like, this is weird. They're all dead. Like, not even dead, gone. Because when enemies die, you can see them on the floor. You think, okay, he's been here. But these ones were gone. It's like, okay, he's been through this area many times. Puddle up the staircase to the main room. And there, stood at the fire, was Diane. Just stood there. Sorcerer build, sorcerer staff in hand. I think he had the yogurt shield as well in his other hand. Full face helm. Just stood there. And I sort of ran up to him and I waved. No reaction. And I sort of clanged my mace off of the walls. No reaction. And I kind of thought, do I take the easy kill here? Because once you've used a cracked red eye orb, they're gone. I thought, if I Black Crystal out, I've wasted my time. But then that creeping sense of honour kicks in. Do I kill someone who's clearly AFK? And we discussed it back and forward. You were like, no, don't do it.
Yeah, I was like, you've got to jump into some boxes or just sort of johnny around for a bit and just try and attract their attention. Because if they've just gone over the other side of the room or they're having a sandwich and looking at something else for a while, I've been in that situation where I've been like, oh, what's that? And it was just somebody just jumping around the room, smashing into all the boxes and then bowed. And I was like, that's really cool. So you did kind of everything
I ran around. Really. I gave it about 5 minutes, sort of three to 5 minutes, and they clearly weren't coming back. So I thought, okay, well, they're going to die now.
Well, I think the deciding factor was you couldn't really lose that orb.
Yeah, the orb was spent at that point. I was like, well... The best I'm going to get out of this is a few souls. It's better than nothing, and this guy's going to learn the lesson of not going AFK.
So at this point, putting it to the listenership, is it better to just Black Sept Crystal out? Because that would have been a default anyway. Or is it better to... Should you claim a win for these sort of things?
I'll be interested to see what you think, listeners, because I have... very strong opinion on one side of that fence. If you went AFK, you're playing the wrong game, is my opinion. But I'll be interested to see what you think. But yeah, I decided to take the dishonourable path, or the... No, I think the right path. The right path. It was punishing them. They forgot what game they were playing. And I thought, well, I'm not going to just stab them because that's boring. What else can I do? Can I push them around? And I discovered that when you do the shield break, the smack forward an R1 attack, the shield break, it moves them about a foot. And, of course, nearby that area is a big hole with a ladder. I thought, ooh, let's push him in the hole. So I did. It took a couple of minutes of, just bonking him slowly and trying really hard not to attack.
That.
It took a couple of minutes of shield breaking him slowly.
Yeah, that doesn't.
That's not really that better, is it?
Doesn't sound quite as shaggy though. I was sitting on the sofa.
I guard broke him to the hole. That's even worse.
Is there something you need to tell me?
Okay, I pushed my opponent towards his death. Is that better?
Mildly.
Okay. Anyway, I got into the hole, shoved him all the way down. He fell down, but then I was most upset when he didn't die. Just about tanked it. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake! So I went down the thing. I thought, can I push him into the fire? But I kind of screwed up one of my things and just hit him one. But it doesn't. At that point, it doesn't matter. So I killed him. So I'm claiming that as a win. I got a token of spite. Going by spite rules, that is 1 point.
Right. So spite rules is where we're at, is it?
I think we're going token of spite rules. I think token of spites count the win. So I'm currently on 1 for Diane and 1 for you. So I'm on 2 spites out of 4 so far. My other 2 haven't been played yet. So who was your next invasion?
Well, it's something similar because
invasion,
I invaded someone and just couldn't find them. And was running around and was doing the thing past the enemies where it was like, excuse I, pardon I, when they were sort of standing there. I was just nudging them out of doorways and trying to figure out who was dead and who wasn't, and wondering if they got chameleon or something like that, and just going all over the level trying to find whomever it was. And we got to the bit where there were all the ballistas in the semicircle and all the guards were dead there, and you went down and the chests were open, so they used the Pharos Lockstone, and they were wearing the same stuff as Pate, but a little bit further forward, sort of between where Pate normally is and the arch that leads to the interior ballistas, and carrying two maces. But the only point where I realised it wasn't Pate was the point where I walked right up to them, and that was when their username showed, and I was like, oh.
And I believe I've altered the name, but their name was Deadly Prototype, or something like that. I've altered it slightly.
Yeah.
Just so people don't go hunt these people down and call them lamers.
Yeah.
Deadly Prototype.
But I don't know if they've been called out to do the bins and stuff, but we had a long conflab again, and this was a degree of is there any enemies that you can lead
Can you push them into an armored knight and watch them kill them? Because I think that's more creative if you're left with an open target. I think you've got free reign to be a bit creative in how you dispatch them.
There was just no way I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So we waited for a while, and I ended them. So it was kind of a default again, but by rules of spite.
That's a point.
So that's the title of the episode as well, I think.
Rules
of spite.
Rules of spite.
Maybe with more than one eye. So yeah, and then I went into someone else's game, was running around trying to find them, and their name again, edited for the sake of the show. Vasectomy. Okay.
Close enough.
Are you sure we're right with these names? Because
I think we get them slightly wrong, but I was writing them down as we were going.
No, I don't even mean like that, because I'm sure that after you met Diane, I met Luis.
No, you didn't meet. Luis was the one that you joined to get your humanity back.
Ah, that was it.
You see, I wrote that down as well because I was taking notes.
Because I was wondering if kind of we were playing with Portugal.
Yeah. By the way, the rare moment, by the way, listeners of the show, I took some notes. Who knew?
And who knew that could happen?
I know, right?
Yeah, and now you know who plans out these things. And who freewheels like a ginger dog. Who
just turns up pissed and gets on with it.
So yeah, the next game I invaded, I ran around, but the owner of that particular game died. So gone by default, but by rules of spite.
Rules of spite.
That was 2 wins to me.
2. So it was 2-2 at this point, wasn't it?
Yes.
2-2, but with one loss for you because you died to me.
Hold on, but in that case, I have 5 fights.
I only had 4.
Yes.
I spent one on you.
Mm-hmm. How's this all going to work out?
It's work the maths out.
Exciting.
Ooh, it's exciting. So my next one then, I invaded the world of Butsky. Again, significantly altered. Butsky. And Butsky, I ended up, I think I spawned in near the last giant. I went upstairs, found him in the Cardinal Tower of Bonfire room, where you tend to find everybody. Magic user, was soul spearing out of the gate, so I was diving around and trying to avoid him. Very shield heavy, backpedaling and shielding. I tried to advance, I tried to break his guard. I got in a nice guard break riposte, which got, I'd say, 2/3 of his health in a single strike, which felt good. I was thinking, yeah, I've got this guy, I've got him. Then the Blue Phantom turned up. And this is the first one I've ever actually experienced. I've never, if I have had one before, I apologise. If I've said it on the show, please point me to it where I said that it happened, and I will gladly say that I'm wrong. But this is the first one I remember happening. And I think, oh shit, I need to finish this guy quickly. So I sort of chased at him, but couldn't quite get through his shield. And then saw his blue bro turn up through the hole in the wall. And yeah, of course, another magic user. So then I was subjected to a torrent of soul spears, which I eventually succumbed to because I couldn't dodge them fast enough. So unfortunately, thanks to being ganged up on, that was one loss for me. By the rules of spite, it was a loss. And I was spiteful about it.
But
so yeah, the Blue Bros, remarkably efficient.
Well, I've only, when I've been a Blue Bro, I've had loads of action, so to speak, when I've played that on 360, but on PS3, none.
Yeah, it's weird. I think that to be an effective Blue Bro, you have to have someone in the Apostles of Blue, don't you? And I think everybody switches that out as soon as they get out of that one to a better Covenant, don't they?
No, but apples and oranges compared to how it was on PS3 and how it was on 360. I
suppose, yeah.
Yeah,
maybe that's because more people on the 360 are complete babby children that need help. Ooh, shots fired. Shots fired.
Didn't lie, Sony boy.
Come at me, bros.
Easy now.
Except you
can't. Yeah, at this point, I then fought John Liberty.
Yep, John Liberty. That's very good.
John Liberty, thanks. Again, significant, well, slightly altered. And this was near the Pursuer Foggate.
Aye.
And John Liberty ran up the stairs and sized me up a little bit. John Liberty gave a bow. I gave a bow to John Liberty. I started
saying John Liberty.
It's good, isn't it? And at this point, I put some spunky magic on my sword. I aromaticused up, and John Liberty kind of went, fuck. And John Liberty threw some sorcery at me whilst I was doing spunky magic on sword.
So John Liberty, not a fan of sticky white stuff.
No, John Liberty was clearly like, right, I'm going in here. Fair play, because is somebody applying magic to their sword? Is that the start of the fight has already happened after the bow, or is somebody preparing a sword?
I believe that if you are taking the time to buff your sword, you are an open target at that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You're making yourself stronger while the other person is expected to stand there and watch you make yourself stronger. No.
I think Liberty was within his rights. So he threw a little bit of sorcery at me. Didn't do a lot of damage. So at this point, I was like, okay, because after our fight, I was like, I should just use some aromatic ooze on that sword, and I'd probably have beaten you at that point.
You probably would have.
So I had this fight with Johnny Liberty, and it was a good scrap. Eventually, he pulled out sort of a shield and a sword as well, and tried to mix it up a little bit, but I was a bit too powerful at that point.
So his damage he was doing to you, is it because of your shield, or is it because of the Drang Lake swagger gear?
It might be the Drang Lake gear. I just think that when I was getting a little bit of sorcery against me, I was Was Johnny? Johnny might have been the one with the who got a mace and actually got quite a few hits in on me. In fact, it might be.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, because I think Johnny might have been rocking a mace and sorcery stuff, and I think if I recall correctly, he may well have gotten in a few sexy back smashes.
Ooh.
But with the aromatic ooze on the black katana +3, it was doing crazy damage when it was doing anything, and I think the Drangleic gear was soaking up quite a bit on the other side of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've never really been in the position where I've been in an early part of the fight and gone, I'm kind of prepped for this.
Yeah.
kind of built for speed.
You've never been ready before.
Well, I've never felt overpowered. And whilst I'm still within the range of that level, because we've not massively over.
No, not even close. Yeah.
I did feel like I was maybe a few gears in front.
Harder, faster, better, stronger.
Yeah, and I tell you what, it wasn't a case of skill particularly. I just got a bit more armor on, and the sword was doing a good degree more damage with the aromatic ooze. So
we'll take in a moment then to talk about the Drangleic gear for a second. Do you think it's too good for the earliness that you find it?
I think it's the elite knight armor of Dark Souls 2, isn't it?
It really is. Like, I mean, the first game I had, I found it and immediately put it on, and pretty much didn't take it off ever.
I tell you what it is. Rather than
the
elite knight sword, I think it's the armor Drake sword.
Ooh.
Ooh. Because if you're finding things quite difficult in Forest of the Fallen Giants, and especially if you've gotten past the pursuer fight, when you find that, it's essentially making the game thereafter a significant amount easier for you, because it's not that heavy.
Nope, amazing stats.
And also, it's for me, it's one of the prettiest armors in the game, if not the prettiest.
Is
there another armor with a cape?
There are some with half capes. I know the Temple Knight. Fucking stop it! The cleric's outfit, the Archdrake robes, have a nice white, fluffy cape. But that's underneath. It's on top of a bathrobe.
We are following Destiny, though. We are amidst Cape Week.
It is Cape Week. All about those capes. But I think, yeah, the fact that it looks really good, doesn't weigh a lot, and is really, really good. I don't know. I see a lot of people using it, and where I didn't see the same kind of single outfit choice in Dark Souls that I did early game anyway. I don't know. I think maybe it's a little bit too good for where you find it. But it's a nice little game, made to make the game easier. And if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. But why would you ever not have a cape?
I don't know.
I mean, you've got an option of a cape or not a cape. You've got to be some kind of idiot to not want to use the cape, right? And then whoosh around the game making Superman noises.
So you got your final fight at this point?
Yes, I then dropped my final orb. So I'm at 2-1 at the moment. And I popped my final crack eye orb. And I entered the world of, significantly altered, Daniel, 2 numbers.
Okay.
I say that because all of the letters were repeated 3 times. So it was Daniel, and then a pair of numbers.
That sounds like Elton John having a stroke.
I don't know how to respond.
Just carry on.
Moving on. And I ran around and very, very quickly found Daniel. Daniel was wearing the Elite Knight gear. Funny we mentioned that. Full Elite Knight gear. Fat rolling. And he had, I believe, it was the speary halberd that one of the undead knights just outside of the Cardinal Tower room has. You know, the ones that have just a spear and can wreck you when you're early game. Had one of those, and he was dropping some spins. I think the two-handed stance had some spin attacks.
Okay.
And he had all the range in the world. He was fat rolling, but he had the range. So I got a few meaty hits in that did a lot of damage, but I just couldn't get close enough to him to really get anywhere significant. And he was really playing kind of cautious. He was keeping back. If I was getting too close, he'd start doing a sort of a sweepy attack that I couldn't block because, of course, I'm not wearing a shield because I'm mental. And And yeah, I did my best, but he did a 3-hit overhead combo, and the last one caught me and knocked me down. So by the rules of spite, that's another lose. So I'm on 2-2.
The rules of spite.
My KD is 1.0.
Okay, so then I think this was the point where I had somebody with a quite a regular shield and a sword, and I cracked straight into aromatic ooze.
I know their name.
Uncle Zoo.
Uncle Zoo. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Uncle Zoo.
Uncle Zoo.
So I think this was quite a regular fight, if I recall it correctly. I really should have made notes after each of these.
I think you bowed at each other and then you put the fear up him, is what I've written down.
Did I?
You said I'm putting the fear up him.
Oh yeah, I just think I launched it. I went two-handed on this one and I just launched straight in, and it was like chop, 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 and I think about 3/4 of his health had gone. And at that point, I think his shield came out, and it wasn't going to happen for him. But
that Heides Knight sword, eh? Isn't it good?
What do you mean?
I love it. Or were you using the black steel at that point?
I was black steel again. Yeah. Well, I haven't really used this before, and whilst my initial playthrough I used the fire longsword, and I'd sort of monkeyed around a little bit with the Heides sword in this one. Don't know, black steel katana's quite good fun, especially in PvP. I'm finding that if there's a point where I get the advantage like that, putting the fear up them is going two-handed on it when I'm ahead, and then just launching into jumps near them and around them, and that was fun. I haven't really kind of ever played the bad guy to that kind of degree before.
Isn't it great?
It did feel quite delicious.
See, this is where it starts, though. This is where the bug bites you, because they're like, I want to invade more people now.
Yeah, but I've got no cracked red eye.
Because we've run out of them now. So I believe, did you get a token of spite there?
I did indeed. So as far as my invasions,
by the rules of spite,
and we are purely going by invasions, not invadeds.
Well,
yeah, we are. Because what did you do with your 4 red eye orbs?
I achieved 2 tokens of spite. That is roughly 1 token of spite for every 2 cracked eye orbs I used.
How many fights did you have?
I had 4 fights.
There we go.
How many fights did you have?
I had 5 fights, but 4 red eye orbs. We both had 4 red eye orbs each, so we're counting it on a 4-for-4 basis.
Yep. So how many have you got now, CJ?
Essentially, my fight with you, where you invaded, did not count on my list. Get that in your pipe and smoke it.
Boo! So you are on 4 tokens.
4 for 4.
Fucking duh.
Admittedly, 2 of those were kind of defaults, with one person that had gone off for a poo and somebody else that just died. But
still,
we're judging by the rules of spite.
The rules of spite decree that you are the best PvPer and the king of podcasts.
Indeed.
Well done, you bastard.
So that was a lot of fun, and next time we're going to go to Heides Tower of Flame. Heides Tower of Flame.
To be sure. But we might do some blue stuff there. But before we get there,
that'd be quite a good idea.
Yeah, maybe do some blue stuff. But yeah, let's talk about the rest of the forest then.
I tell you what might be quite good fun to do for next podcast if we get the blue ring, to see if we can then, if we go through Heides and we then do the podcast but leave the blue rings on, and if we get summoned during the podcast, we'll play that fight live.
So live fights.
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of fun.
Fight Night Live, I like it. Fight Night Live. Coming soon to a podcast near you. Fight Night Live.
So yeah, we put out a challenge last time to who parries the pursuer.
Can you parry the pursuer? Can anybody parry the pursuer?
Can you?
Can you
How
though?
about you? You in the corner eating crisps and looking away. You parry the pursuer. Oh, it's Timur. Hi.
You with the face. Can you do it?
He can't, but Timur can. But we'll come back to that.
So
we had a couple of bits of email Cake. So
Email.
the first one was from Simon, who said, parrying, sigh. To my shame, I don't parry.
Does it say the accent at the top?
Parrying, sigh.
Read this like Mr. Darcy.
No, I made it a bit more musical that time. So.
Oh, okay.
Right, shut up. Parrying, sigh. To my shame, I don't parry, and the thought of attempting such with the pursuer fills me with no small amount of worry. To be fair, it is part of the combat mechanic, or any other folks slightly apprehensive to it really shouldn't be fearful, nor indeed be missing out on. With that said, Twin Humanities inspires me with a newfound confidence. And rightly so, I shall endeavour to explore further this subtle yet deadly parry art you speak of. This next bit's in bold again, so I shall sing it.
Sing it.
From the panic to the sublime. The best pursuer parrying I have ever seen was via that same Twitch stream CJ mentioned last episode. What an absolute pleasure it was to watch Timur beat this foe while crossing paths at the Iron Keep. Now, I've seen him do this at the Iron Keep, and I've seen him do this with the Pursuer on both the first and the second Pursuer fights. I'll go back to Simon's email now. Timur parries, counters, and takes a quick swig of esters. Honestly, boy, so cool. Parry, counter, quick swig of esters, and so on. Basically just embarrassing the Pursuer. Epic stuff to witness. And he says, anyway, just want to drop one of my favourite podcasts, a quick email to say welcome back. Thank you for bringing us listeners great guests and fantastic content, which is really cool.
Thanks, Si.
Thank you, Si. So yeah, but Timur was amazing at it. It was every time, I'm not kidding you. And there was, I'm rubbish at this sort of stuff. So just watching like the boosh every time and just go like, you've done it again. But
it baffles me how people can do it to every single one. Like I found the parry mechanic so much harder in Dark Souls 2, and I've not been able to get into its groove yet. And just to watch someone do it over and over and over, I'm like, are you a wizard?
But even the point of doing the parry and then seeing somebody take a swig or a couple of swigs of esters. It's just, there's a point of this going like, they're going to notice. It's almost as if like you parry them and then you just like pull the ring pull on a can of pop and like, whenever you're ready.
No rush.
Sound effects, motherfuckers.
That was good.
So yeah, Timur is the king of that. So and has been doing some more Dark Souls streams recently. So I hope
brilliant.
We also had a couple of emails from Matt, which we shall squish together and make a victorious sponge of. I will.
This was from Matt in Milton Keynes. I don't know if he's from Milton Keynes, but he was in Milton Keynes when he wrote the email, from what I can tell. Sorry?
What a holiday.
What a holiday to Milton Keynes. God. He says that he was thinking of making a character called Peri Parry Chicken.
Genius.
Brilliant. I love it. Peri Parry Chicken.
Sir, I knight you the king of this episode. Matt from Milton Keynes, you are the king of this episode.
The rules of spite have claimed you kingship. The Peri Parry Chicken. Because I'm so useless at parrying, I'll be trying to parry everything in the game. Your challenge has made me start it tonight. Everything in the game. Mental, right? I can barely parry one thing in the game, let alone the entire game. And he then got back to us a few days later with an update on how it was going. So, hi guys. Just to let you know, my parrying challenge is going slowly. Took 3 hours to get through things betwixt and to the Cardinal Tower. Groups of enemies with different weapons are so hard when you're trying to parry riposte all of them. I've found myself when I've been parrying any enemy is that you have to watch their swings, you have to really kind of pay attention. But dealing with 2 different kinds of weapons, watching for the 2 different kinds of tells, fuck that, man, fuck that. The email continues. I did take on the Pursuer at the earlier area and managed to parry his first attack. Way! Sadly, my riposte didn't work. I'm not sure if you can even do that to him. I don't think you can do that to him. When I've watched, I don't think you can do a proper riposte on the Pursuer, can you?
I don't think so.
You can just bollock him while he stood there. But still, it's nice to be able to hit him. So I parried his first attack, and there's no crossbows there, so I inevitably died in the fight. But still, 20 points for parrying that off. I'm sure I'll be a parrying master by the time I get to him again. It might just take me a week to get there, because there's a hard area between there and there. Thanks for the great shows. Can't wait to listen to the old ones when I play through Dark Souls. So you've not played Dark Souls? Interesting. Sure. Oh, Dark Souls 1 is where parrying was king, wasn't it?
Well, for me, I've never really been able to do parrying. There's always a panic in the back of my heart that just goes like, no, it might not work.
Yeah, if you can master the parrying in Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 1, you're going to walk through it. You're going to walk through it. But yeah, no, really, really, really good email. Thank you very much, Matt, in Milton Keynes. Let us know if you're from there or if you just visited.
Yeah.
Because it's killing me that I don't know.
So yeah, this is our sort of super quick lunchtime sized bro up episode to let you know about our invading, where we'll do some more of that in a bit, but we're off to Heides Tower of Flame next.
Hold on.
What?
Hold on. We've missed our own go at the parry. Didn't we?
You did a parry, I didn't.
Shall we take it from the end of the email? Shit.
Just carry on.
Just carry on? Fuck editing.
Just carry on.
Right. This is Smash Journalism. This is Twin Humanities live cock-ups. Yes, we also tried to do the parrying of the pursuer, like we said we would.
You did.
Yeah, you couldn't be bothered. You just
went
straight to the crossbows.
It's not that, mate. There's a point where I just go, my head just goes, this just isn't going to happen.
He just went
back away slowly.
Straight for the crossbows.
Let the ginger have his moment.
Yeah, I actually took a death here in the official Bro Op Run death count. I took a death, bringing me up to 2 and CJ on 1. By just trying parrying and not blocking or moving or dodging. I think I popped one of the parrying shields, I think the buckler. I popped that on to make it a little bit easier and cocked it up royally and was pretty much dead by the time you came through the fog door, wasn't I?
Yes.
It hadn't gone well. Went to your game, you went straight for the crossbow, stabby, stabby, stab, which was fine.
What do you mean I took him down?
Yeah, from miles away.
I was Brian Paradise City. How won't you please take me home?
You were chick, Perry chicken.
No, that's Matt. He's the king of the episode. You can't take that away from him.
I can't. But I can call you a cowardly custard with your custard shield.
What? I just think you're bitter.
Bitter? Why are you bitter? Because then on my next run is that I actually managed to do it.
What?
I cracked a parry.
Whatever.
Yeah, went in, saw him coming towards me in the end. Again, I think it was the very first or the very second strike. Came up, thought, right, all balls. No panic, no fear. Don't think about it, just balls. Just go for it when it feels right, just balls. And I smashed L2, and his sword got knocked away. I think I might have yelled. Did I yell? It's a bit of a blur.
Was triumphant.
It was
the yell of a man having a simultaneous orgasm and being stabbed on the battlefield.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't like that. Jesus Christ.
But then I believe you you congratulated me quickly and then went off to the ballistas again. And we played a game of manoeuvre him into the ballista, which I don't mind once we've done that. I got my parry in, but the honour was there.
Fine. So essentially, within this all balls moment, which I agree with on a different tangent, you believe that you've won that one in the same way that you believe you've won today just because you beat me.
Well, I got a parry and I killed you. Doesn't matter how many people you killed because I got you.
The rules of spite, my friend.
Oh, the rules of spite.
We were going 4 out of 4. If you're bringing it personal, all I can say is that you rue that day. Ooh. But it's up to the listeners to decide
who won. So one final thing, Pursuer, hot or not?
I don't even know you anymore.
Why not? He's a hot boss. With his glowing red eye and his floating feet.
I was thinking, you're married now. Your eye shouldn't be wandering towards shiny men or women.
It might not even be a man in there. It might be a floating suit of armour. So that's okay, I guess?
Yeah, it's all right to lust after ghosts, is it? On that note, I shall leave you to ponder the episode and indeed to figure out who won. Yes. Goodbye from myself and from Paddy. And
dude, we've done it again. We've missed something again. This is great. We're doing brilliantly today. So we're going to Hyde next. We're going to the Heides Tower of Flame.
You interrupted me on this stuff.
I know, because we missed a bit. You were closing up.
Orange man.
This is the finish.
Satsuma of interruption and death.
No, this is the finish.
Don't edit this out. People need to know what you're like. Don't do that thing. I want to do this thing. Oh, you've forgotten the thing that you were doing.
I thought you took notes.
All of this is in a former tub of butter called bitterness. Called I Can't Believe It's Not Bitter.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Big talk for a man who fell to my rock on a stick.
How dare you?
Ooh.
The rules of spite say. Anyway, yes, next time we're going to Heides, as I've said twice.
Heides Tower of Flame. And we have homework. We've got homework for you all again, because the parrying worked really well. I've got some homework for you. Yeah. So get your pens out, get your books. By next time, I am going to ask you to do this in Heides Tower of Flame. You're going to go to Heides Tower of Flame, and you are going to try to beat both of the bosses. That is the old Dragon Slayer and the Dragon Rider, or the Dragon Rider and fake Ornstein, whatever you want to call them, or real Ornstein. Woohoo, lore. You're going to try and beat both of those bosses, but I don't want you to hit a bonfire in between them. I want you to do them in one run.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's not even in the song.
I don't know what the song is anymore.
You love me and I know now. So, on that note of division and derision...
You forgot one more thing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, there's nothing. I'm just messing.
Right, there is there is something. If you want to tell us about your adventures with the No Bonfire Heides Tower of Flame run, you can send it to us at twinhumanitiespodcast @gmail.com. You can send it to us on @twinhumanities on dem Twitters.
Yeah.
And we'll be looking.
We will.
And
if you have two flags, you can stand upon a hill and semaphore it to us.
No.
Oh, why not?
Any momentum I built up for the end of the show.
It's just too fun.
You're just trying to derail it now because the rules of spite.
Do you know what's fun? I really am.
Spite. Well, it's up to you. It's up to you to figure out which is your favourite. And who really truly won.
Yeah. We might not have a next episode. We might have had a physical fight by then, so who knows?
Yeah, maybe we can forge this into some sort of West Side Story version of our battles, but we'll have to try and figure that out. Bye.
Bye.
I just want to talk about the fights I've gone through. Just one hurting me. Now it's history. Used all my red-eye orbs, and that's what you've done too. Nothing more to say. No more invading left today. The brunette takes it all. The ginger's standing small. Besides one victory, that's his destiny.
The souls were on the floor, I'm thinking they belong there. Your Skype cries were of pain. I was laughing like a drain, building me a home, thinking I'd be strong there, but my confidence was fat, and I fought like a twat. But the ginger won a fight, and that's my orange right. Never mind your victories, you bloody well didn't beat me.
The winner takes it all. The loser has to fall. It's simple and it's right when played with rules of spite. Who won?
I won.
It was me.
It was me.
We both had 4 red-eye orbs.
But I beat you.
We both invaded 4 times.
I invaded you.
I won 4 fights.
But I beat
oh
you.
No, Paddy. Oh no.
Oh yes.
I knew you'd say that.
I win.
No.
Yes.
You ginger bastard.
You brunette.
No.
Boca.